On the road to the Final Four, we welcome you to Coral Gables, Florida. Action from the ACC, the top team of the conference, the North Carolina Tar Heels, visiting the Miami Hurricanes. Some breakfast for the students before tip-off here. It turned out a pancake. Only meeting of the season for these two teams. The conference standings, North Carolina at 7-1, log jam behind them, Florida State, Virginia, and Notre Dame. Miami is under 500 within the ACC. The Hurricanes are 13-6 overall. And welcome to South Florida, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Bill Raftery. We know that North Carolina has been one of the hottest teams in college basketball. 7-game winning streak, high-powered offense, and the top rebounding team in the nation. They're playing at a high level.
We got you off the beach, pancakes and basketball, and you're right. Carolina is playing great basketball, solid, pushing the ball. The one complaint that Roy has is defense. I haven't noticed it yet.
All right, let's talk about the point guard position. Joel Berry, we know at North Carolina there's been a very high level of expectation at that spot. He has come through with flying colors.
You know, everybody needs a leader. He's certainly one of those guys, a floor general, loves to push the basketball. His decision-making is exceptional. Finds people, whether it's in the half court or the full, can burn you with that deep jumper, also spreads out, can attack the rim, take a hit. Just an outstanding guy running the show.
Miami right now is trying to build a tournament resume. This is a team that went to the Sweet 16 last year, but lost a lot of talent. They are relying on the senior, Davon Reed, for leadership and also for scoring punch.
He is just a solid basketball player. Great feel for the game. They run a lot of high fives, but also they'll spread him in the corner, drive and kick. His ability in the lane, good footwork, the little kiss burn. Plus, he steps out and can make the deep one. How about this Euro move?
What about the challenges here for Miami? Because North Carolina is so deep, Miami's got a very tight rotation going right now.
Well, I think the biggest concern is rebounding and foul problems. They've got to stay on the floor and at least try and make Carolina play some half-court basketball.
All right, let's check out our AT&T fast analysis wrap.
We always talk about the bigs, whether it's Steve Smith coaching or Roy Williams. They rebound and get out and fill. They're an unselfish team. They love the extra pass, the look, and look at the blue shirts outnumbered the white. You must get back and counter, and this is what Miami's all about. The high ball screen, the ability to spread you out, ISO at the top, the big slips to the 10, and if they can do this, they can do some damage.
We are with you today from the Watsco Center in Florida. The Tar Heels of North Carolina, ranked number 9 in the country, matched up with the Miami Hurricanes. All the action coming up, starting lineups and opening tip when we come back on CBS.
We gon' blow your mind.
Moments away from the opening tip here in South Florida. Roy Williams now in his 14th year as the head coach at North Carolina. He was the head man at Kansas for 15 years. What an incredible career he's put together. Over 800 victories. Starting lineups: Joel Berry II, Kenny Williams, Justin Jackson, Isaiah Hicks, and Kennedy Meeks. Theo Pinson is not available. Turned that right ankle in the victory over Virginia Tech on Thursday night. Miami's starting 5. They've gone with this unit back-to-back games now. Newton, Brown, Reed, Lawrence in the starting lineup, and Kamari Murphy, the fifth-year senior, up front. That means the freshman DeJuan Huell will come off the bench. Jim Larrañaga has turned this program around. 6th year as the head coach. Larrañaga knows all about North Carolina, going way back to his assistant coach days at Virginia.
Yeah, long time. I think he knows their sense. And he goes through them like verbatim. It's incredible. What a job he's done here.
Our officiating crew here this afternoon: Ron Groover, Sean Hull, and John Gaffney.
Now, you're always looking for a good start, and Miami, obviously, I think their concern is valuing the basketball, particularly against all the trappings of North Carolina. They spring them on you.
Theo Pinson wearing a walking boot. They were hoping he would be available, still figuring out exactly where things stand with that right foot. Missed the first 16 games of the season. And we're underway in Coral Gables.
Ryan Eagle right now, Miami. The Hurricanes go. Minute.
For the closed captioning operator, that's man-to-man.
A great interpreter. Look at this kid get to the rim.
Berry fouled on the drive to the hole.
Wow, that's a cheapie, too. There may have been Lawrence under there.
It is Lawrence picking it up, and it's Joel Berry shooting 90% of the free throw line. He'll get a pair.
You were here very summer, flawless.
Really?
Yeah. Unbelievable what he's been able to do healthy, running the show.
He's been very aggressive. We asked Roy Williams, where has he seen the growth? He said, well, wait a second. He was really good last year. He was the ACC tournament MVP, but he said he's been more confident shooting the ball, and then defensively he's getting after it, extending more against opposing guards.
And the big thing is the denial on the wings. You're going to have to step and go, lift the wing people on occasion, and then blow by.
Newton gets the screen from Murphy. The length of Jackson nearly created a turnover.
Oh, great help defense.
Shot clock is down to 9. The talented freshman Bruce Brown to Murphy, dealing with a wrist injury. Fade away off the rim, and it's rebounded by Meeks.
There's so many pluses for Carolina. Meeks being one. Look at the terrific entry, but not at the right hand. They're excellent at putting it on the correct hand, leading the big to the goal.
North Carolina coming off a 91-72 victory over Virginia Tech on Thursday night. So a quick turnaround here for the Tar Heels.
Tough. NBA-like.
Meeks using the body on Murphy. Shot clock down to 7. Meeks works in. He missed it. Meeks rejected, and a foul. Miami fans react. Murphy walks away from it and claps his hands after the call.
Well, the one thing about Meeks, he can really chase him. He's the first to know he's going to miss him. He's excellent at running down his own misses, and it's just tough. 2 inside fouls, something they got to stay away from.
So 1 on Anthony Lawrence Jr., 1 on Kamari Murphy, and Kennedy Meeks at the free throw line, shooting it at 62%. He's mammoth, 6'10", 260.
You say that with envy.
I do.
You know, he's a perfect physical specimen, and you're ridiculing him.
No. Mammoth is a positive, Bill, in basketball terms.
Okay. Nice to know.
Chance to make this a 4-0 lead. Meeks, keep in mind, he's lost about 50 pounds.
Well, if you're not jealous, I am, by the way, of that body. You've got to be ready on the free throw for a wrinkle. Any inbounds, you've got to be alert.
Miami looking to get on the board. Just over a minute gone by in this first half. Newton, the junior from Philadelphia.
Brown widens for the kick. Oh, take that. That may be the best look you get.
Brown defended by Kenny Williams. Shake and bake by Brown. Slashing to the hole. Offensive foul. It's going the other way.
Got to take them when they present themselves. Jimmy's trying to call his guys over to get them organized, but what they do is bait you into that dribble drive. Alert. I mean, that's from the opposite side of the foul line. Great coverage by the Heels.
Miami comes in averaging 72.6 points per game. Compare that to North Carolina. They put up nearly 90 points per game.
They got a run of 85s plus, don't they?
7 in a row. First time in school history, 7 straight in ACC play.
He does
the
that
turnaround,
well.
Silky smooth. Isaiah Hicks.
They gave him room, good step work. Turn around, Jay, and nails it.
Miami, a 78-77 win over Boston College on Wednesday night. They led that game by as many as 17 in the second half, then had to hold on for the victory.
A really improved BC team, by the way, Bird.
Nothing going here in this half-court set. Brown will do it himself. Went for the elevation, and he's fouled.
Hicks, I think. How about that? Is that impressive? Williams over there shaking his head. What a challenge. A big concern of his. Talking to both of us, the dribble drive, and this is just a great looking attack. This is a guard, folks. I'm not sure. We think they give it to Burry or no? Could have been Hicks.
Foul was called on Hicks.
Yeah.
And Miami on the board with Bruce Brown, 67% free throw shooter.
And the crowd somewhat relieved. They can take their seat.
Brown is 6'5", 190 pounds.
He's a
freshman
keeper.
out of Boston, no doubt. 6'9" wingspan, great personality. As Jim Larinaga explained it.
A neighbor, man, I guess a teacher, right, said, I met that young guy you have. What a charmer. Speaking of charmer, Jackson, nice cut and look.
Williams pops, and it's rebounded by Newton for Miami. 6-2 lead for the Tar Heels. Newton using the Murphy screen. Goes behind the back.
Nice kick.
Lawrence, off balance, in and out.
They're chasing him off the three-point line. Miami doing a pretty good job of getting into that lane, though, and finding people. That could be dangerous for Carolina.
Jackson's been on a hot streak.
But they are right on him on the catch. Not much space. Doesn't matter.
A three.
Ooh.
Justin Jackson. He hit 5 of them in the victory over Virginia Tech. Finished with 26 points. And he's shooting it at 40% from downtown.
And what was he, 28 a couple of years ago? And one was really deep the other night. If he misses, you're really surprised anymore.
Newton steps into it. Air ball. Missed it badly. Rebound. Karams off of Jackson. Out of bounds. Miami will retain it.
Well, you usually like a little space when you get a jump shot. But look at this. There isn't much room between the shooter and the defender. And a little nylon by a guy who has stepped up his game. Pros told him work on his shooting and strength. He certainly did.
Newton with a head of steam had the ball knocked away for a moment. What a spin. And the scoop. Newton can't finish it. And the rebound snatched by Hicks. Miami is 0 of 4 from the field.
This is where he's tough. He can go wire to wire, and a floater as good as anybody
Jackson,
in the country.
End to end off the window. Justin Jackson with that length. 6'10" wingspan.
What do you think, Bird? Wire to wire. Thin, pretty, and effective. Deuce, Carolina.
Well, Billy, this North Carolina team does so many things well, and we've seen already a bunch of them on display. The depth, 11 players averaging 9 or more minutes, and all effective. The leadership, upperclassmen leading the way for the Tar Heels, and the sharing of the ball. Number 3 in the nation in assists.
It all started with Dean Smith, believe it or not, and carrying on the legacy. Roy Williams, unselfish play, consistent performance, teamwork. It's been so impressive for a long, long time. Miami's got to get back in it, and here's a little nickel dimer.
Berry defending Newton across the midcourt line, a little too tight. And he picks up the foul at the 16-19 mark of this first half. 11-2 North Carolina. Miami still looking for its first field goal.
And Bird, without Pinson, too, they're a little lean in the backcourt. He and Berry and Britt can play together, and one can move over. But Pinson, I think, one of the better passers in the country. Here's a little run and jump on the dribbler this time. Once in a while, they do it on the catcher.
Brown swings it. Lawrence fires the triple, and he hits.
Got to take it. I mean, these kids can make shots. Don't over-penetrate the size. Just magnify once you get closer to the rim. Back screen pop. This is their secondary.
Berry off the rim, no good. Murphy allows it to bounce out of bounds. We'll get a substitution here. Nate Britt, the senior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, checks into the game. And it will be Williams getting a breather.
Yeah, he can get after you. Good handle, great speed. He's got Brown.
So that means Berry sticks with Newton. Davon Reed is yet to get involved here for Miami.
This club loves the ball screens at the end of a sequence.
Reed fires.
Soft.
Feathery touch, Davon Reed. And Miami has cut the North Carolina lead to 3.
No, you can't let him catch it in there. Whew. Speaking of pancakes, he's going to have your lunch. A big, wide body. Shaping up.
The low post skills of Kennedy Meeks puts North Carolina in front 13-8. Half court set here for Miami. Brown outside.
See how far out they force you, Bird? Look at this denial. You're going to have to step and go without it.
Lawrence swings it. Open look. Brown, book it. It's a 3.
Nice replace. Really a nice job replacing on the ball screen.
Bruce Brown shooting it at 39% from long range. Multifaceted game. Miami is 3 of 4 from downtown. It's a 9-2 run.
Little 2-3 zone.
That's
nice.
Deep. Blocked. Reed the other way. Newton. Oh, creative. Jaquan Newton on the scoop to the hoop.
Well, they are relaxed now, running their stuff. Still back to the 2-3 zone. You got to know the shooters. They got up nice on Jackson on the last one.
It's an 11-2 run. We're tied at 13.
Carolina's excellent high-low passing against the zone.
Meeks pops. Side rim. Rebound. Meeks got his hand on it. And it's going the other way.
That's his shot, too, his ability to make that shot. But Jimmy Laranaga's guys are back in this thing, playing with a lot of confidence. And how about the penetration? Full extension. They call him a combo guard. Pretty effective. Newton. Oh. Aggressive. Once they get a touch, they find or finish.
Billy, we've had alternating 11-2 runs here. Knotted up at 13 apiece. Some changes. DeJuan Hewell, the freshman, is in for Miami. The dribble drive. Oh, the contact. Jaquan Newton, the strength to get the deuce.
Loves to penetrate, and he can make the jumper too. Newell, one of those great-looking prospects.
Luke May in for North Carolina. Jackson an open look for three.
Just stay on him. I mean, that's Jimmy Larenega's walking down talking to his coaches. This kid is stroking it beautifully.
Miami has made its last 5 shots. They grabbed their first lead. It was short-lived. North Carolina up by 1.
Nice defense here. They had double high, one rolled.
Into the hands of Brown. 10 to shoot. Reed against Jackson. Fun matchup.
Over the top. Nice show by Meeks as well.
Brown is fouled. He got hit on the arm by Britt.
Knowing your shooter, Britt a little bit close. You don't want to get up there and lean in on him. But just a pretty good understanding. Got a piece there. You don't call that in the schoolyard, by the way.
No.
You have a couple dying quills. Just that elbow. That's an old trick.
So that's 3 free throws for Bruce Brown. Won a state title as a senior at Vermont Academy. Get the CBS Sports app for inside access to North Carolina, Miami, or your favorite team. Get instant coverage of every moment from every angle. Download the CBS Sports app today.
This kid's a heck of a performer in the weight room, too. Big, strong, great-looking prospect.
Played football in high school before he went to Vermont Academy. He was at Wakefield in Massachusetts, and you could tell he's got that type of body, and has actually said he's thought about the possibility of trying to do both here at Miami. Not going to happen. He's focusing on basketball. I think Jim Larenega is pleased with that decision.
Well, maybe 5th year. You never know.
Oh, right? We've seen it.
It could happen. Right now, the zone slows Carolina down just a little bit.
Brandon Robinson is in for the first time, along with Tony Bradley.
We'll talk about a nice-looking prospect, too. He had that injury a couple of weeks ago, that concussion, back healthy.
Bradley, Mr. Basketball here in the state of Florida, out of Bartow Senior. Shot clock down to 6. Britt lets it fly.
Nice weak side rebound.
Kamari Murphy with the board. That triggers Miami ahead. North Carolina gets back defensively. Newton probing. Brown's been the go-to guy.
Nice pass.
The dish. Murphy banks it off the glass and in. And Miami has found a flow.
Boy, they really have. And no question about it, the great strength by Murphy to take that lick and finish.
Miami opened up 0 of 4 from the field. They've made their last 6. May, the turnaround. Long rebound.
Numbers.
Controlled. Newton on the push. Newton shifting gears. Aggressive. Jaquan Newton going to the other hand for the bucket.
Look at this push. You're not ready.
Barry, bank shot, no. Rebound knocked out of bounds, and North Carolina will retain it. An extended 19-3 run for the Hurricanes.
Well, they got their legs. They feel pretty comfortable with the ability to switch and protect the Hurricanes out of the gate. You know, Bert, everybody likes a comfort zone. With your lavish style of living, certainly you have it. But the ability of Lawrence to make shots, and Reed with a nice soft touch, Lawrence again, then the drive by Newton, just sensational. They are more relaxed, taking good shots. And of course, a terrific run after a struggle early.
Jim Larenega won his 600th career game earlier this month. Tremendous success for Larenega over the years. 33rd year overall as a head coach. 14, of course, at George Mason. Made that incredible run to the Final Four, but was successful at Bowling Green, American International.
Right. He's been around. Vasilovich on the floor now, more of a stand-up shooter.
Trying to trap in the corner. May, 12 to shoot.
Got to get to the other side of the floor. Nice.
The block, the extension by Izundu. And he gets the rejection. He and Vasilovich now playing for Miami.
A little inexperience on the floor right now. See how they handle it.
7th Woods is in for North Carolina. 22-16 Hurricanes. Reed, the curl, the floater, no. Rebound, May rips it away.
Get back, stop penetration. That's what Miami's been able to do. Make them work in the half court, slow them down just a little bit, look opposite.
They get Bradley a touch.
He likes that little hook.
And there it is, the baby hook is short. Rebound controlled by Izundu.
You've been working hard on that, Bert. I'm impressed.
In the mirror, over and over, Izundu. North Carolina opened up 4 of 6 from the field. Tar Heels have made 1 of their last 9.
That's what you can't do, but you're protected.
Huell turns it over.
Nice look.
Bullet feed. May. He pumped twice. And it's knocked out of bounds by Miami.
And Bert, I think he walked too. He got the feet moving just a little bit. Very lucky. Just nice patience on this. See, a little rattle. And nice recovery. How about that? Not giving up on a play.
The second man through, Ibuka Izundu. 10:28 to go in this first half. North Carolina now struggling to manufacture offense.
Nice drive here.
Woods, the flip. No.
Nice
Rebound. Bradley, tough. May couldn't control it. And Miami comes the other way.
Great hustle by Newton, helping the bigs. A little small change.
And a killer crossover by Newton. He's fouled. It's Woods picking it up.
This is where they're tough. You throw it up there. Carolina pursues with the best in the country. Good acting. Now watch at the end here. Just steer it and go the other way, Newton.
Miami is shooting it at 58% from the field. North Carolina's down to 29%.
How about that? The backcourt pass. Jimmy Larranaga doesn't want any trap in the corners, so he wants to guard all the way down. Doesn't permit that from happening.
Something they worked on extensively yesterday at practice, and something he pounded home to his players. Newton lines it up.
A little bit of a settle. Nice check out.
Rebound by Hicks, who just checked back in for North Carolina. Penetration. Robinson gives it up. Jump shot is short for Bradley.
Silovich on that wing can get a nice run.
A rock attack by Huell. What a setup by Bruce Brown.
Well, rim to rim run. Well, they are competing on the glass too.
Floater doesn't go for Williams. Newton lays it in. Attack mode for Jaquan Newton and Miami. 11-0 run. They lead it 26-16.
Nice kick out.
Woods fakes it. Williams lobs it inside. Bradley in traffic.
Nice hands.
Deflected by Brown and another turnover.
And Roy Williams got subs in, but they can't get him in. He can shoot it, but he needs time.
Missed it short. Izundu couldn't grab it. North Carolina doesn't mind playing at this pace, but Miami has been comfortable. North Carolina has missed its last 11 shots from the field.
You're right, Barry. They're pushing the ball down before the defense gets set, getting exactly what they want.
Right now, North Carolina is just looking for an open look.
Hicks with a good cut and finish.
Made it look easy. Isaiah Hicks, 6'9", 242, the senior from Oxford, North Carolina. Tar Heels cut it to 8. We're down to 8:25 to play in this first half. Roy Williams' team is coming off an impressive stretch offensively over this 7-game winning streak. They've been unstoppable on the offensive end.
And right now, the only thing stopping him is there's no stoppage of the clock. He's trying to get his starters in for the last minute and change.
Fast break points, 8-0 Hurricanes. Huell lines it up. Off the iron. And the rebound to North Carolina's Isaiah Hicks. Woods brings it across, met by Vasiljevic.
Nice penetration by Hicks. How about
trying to take over? Blocked from behind. Bradley couldn't get a clean attempt. Bodies flying. And it's going to stay with North Carolina. We got a timeout with 7:46 remaining in this first half. What a turn. The Hurricanes rolling in the first half. Game summary, the Tar Heels have gone ice cold, 6 of 24 from the field. Miami taking advantage in transition and surprisingly with points in the paint as well.
Well, the big thing is getting beaten down the floor. They're generally the team that punishes you, but look at the numbers, because when you're in a zone, you're facing out and backpedaling and finishing. Newton's really solid and confident. But the big thing, Roy Williams and Carolina got caught with no stoppage of play. Almost 7 minutes with their 3 stalwarts on the bench, and that cost them. They do not like to waste a timeout. They save it for the end of the game, which I understand totally.
Meeks and Berry back in for North Carolina. That pass was errant. Was it tipped?
Yeah.
Out of bounds. It's going to Miami.
I thought it got tipped. Maybe I'm mistaken. Nobody's complaining. Right on the top here, I thought it got tipped. Let me see.
Nope.
No. Well, good call.
So Miami takes over as Kenny Williams was just offline. Berry getting a little frustrated because he has nobody to guard on those inbounds. They keep skying it to the backcourt.
They're
and Newton.
Smart, really. This way they get a shot, not a turnover.
Murphy back in for Miami. 50-year senior, transferred from Oklahoma State. Deflected. Jackson almost got it out of bounds with 13 to shoot.
Boy, the more you watch Miami, Murphy is such a knowledgeable player. Terrific on ball screens, knows how to defend. Good screener, doesn't move. See this, anything, they're going all the way back, even half court. They don't want to have a trap situation by the half court line.
Miami's had mixed results in ACC play. Newton, what a move! Missed though on the floater. It's an air ball, and it's out of bounds. They come in 3-4 in the conference, and they had 2 heartbreaking losses to Wake Forest and Duke back-to-back. Miami bounced back with the win over Boston College, the tight one the other night.
This league is like being back in college and having stat chemistry. You know,
wait, was that your class?
No, not quite.
Berry gives it up,
but nothing easy. Good
10 to shoot.
Movement.
Williams against Lawrence.
Turn.
Hicks went on by, and a travel. There was no body that he thought was going to be there to bounce off of. Coming up this week on The Late Show, Stevens All New with Dr. Phil, Ricky Gervais, Josh Groban, and from Life in Pieces, Thomas Sadowski. All new Colbert this week, only CBS. 26-18, Miami in front, 6.5 to go in this first half.
But that's what you got to do, back cut on that denial.
Brown gives it up to Murphy, 10 on the timer. Newton trying to come to the ball, 7 to shoot.
This is where they get back in the game, though. Good pressure, force you deep in the offense.
It is, and it was obvious. Left arm extended out. Newton used it against Berry.
Berry sold it, didn't he?
He sure did.
Really, this is the typical Carolina defense. Late in the shot clock, you know you got to do something. Get a little frustrated, vent it.
Well, Billy, North Carolina jumped out to an 11-2 lead. Since that point, it's been all Miami. 24-7 Hurricanes.
And Jackson can stretch the D, so can Berry, so he should open things up. Nice little dribble drive, get a little bump.
Rainbow jumper doesn't go. Meeks upset. He thought he was pushed from behind, but Miami's been crashing the boards. Reed, the spin, couldn't finish. Meeks clears it. Lead feet for Jackson, and look out. Jackson in the open floor. Lawrence,
nice.
A tie-up. Jackson trying to fake him out on a shake and bake.
Anticipation, a coach's son, nevertheless, huh? This is just a great defensive maneuver. Clean play, refs get it right. And Jackson's so good at blowing by people, just didn't get it all the way over on the left to protect. Whew, what a defensive play.
Anthony Lawrence Jr., his dad, Anthony Sr., played here at Miami. His uncle Pat also played at Miami. So the family roots deep in this Hurricanes program. 8-point lead for Miami. Lawrence against Hicks.
Nice cross-court use.
It's Brown. A 3.
You can just see a little peek cost them. Not being in good defensive position. Kenny Williams is their best perimeter defender.
Miami's got its largest lead, 11, and Brown, the freshman, in double figures with 11. Meeks, find the open man. Nice save. Jackson knocked away by Reed.
Nice hustle.
Great battle by Hicks.
They got a foul here.
It's a foul coming over the top on Brown.
I don't know if Brown raised those feet on that particular play.
That's number 2 on Brown.
There's just great hustle. Nice hands. They don't come up with it clean. Hicks really doing a terrific job. That's just an innocent play. That hurts, though. Not deep, as we noted on the open.
So Brown sits with those 2 fouls. Meeks to the bench for North Carolina. Britt back in for the Tar Heels. Hicks pumping bodies. It is an offensive foul. Isaiah Hicks trying to use his strength on the interior.
Bert, you mentioned it earlier. He was looking for a body in the 3-second lane. He's doing the same thing here. Either that or a walk was going to happen at that particular. He's got to dump it out the dive guy or get it on the perimeter.
6 turnovers now for North Carolina. 3 possessions in a row.
Roy a little bit frustrated.
Roy has not been thrilled with the team's defense over the last 5 games. He said the defense has not been up to par. And he said at some point the ball's not going to go in the hoop the way that it has been. And today, so far in this first half, that's been one of those days.
Yeah, 51% Virginia Tech shot. He didn't like that. See how far they force you? You've got to pull the plug a little with a step and go.
Reed the crossover, the ball fake. Layup is good and a foul. Davon Reed creating for himself.
I don't know if Bradley got over there, but that middle is their ISO and not afraid to dominate. Davon taking it strong. A little small change reach in and tardy in the coverage because you've got to worry about the spread guy who can make the jump shot.
Reed does a little bit of everything for Miami. You look at his numbers across the board, 15.5 points, over 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, averages 1.3 steals. He's rounded into such a nice player over his 4-year career.
He's got a great handle too, which gets him in that lane. And this 2-3 zone has been extremely effective. 1, it rests you. 2, you don't have the tendency to foul as much.
Penetration, Britt. Berry's been quiet. Fires.
Good challenge.
Off the back of the iron. Newton, the long rebound. Newton, the push. Good floor balance.
Good poise here, too. It's tough when you're sort of a combo kind of a guard. You're thinking offense a little more.
Long drought for North Carolina. Miami trying to take advantage. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Newton on a bounce for Reed. He's defended by Williams. The screen from Huell. Reed, the jumper. Short. Long rebound controlled by Bradley.
They really haven't gotten Jackson the ball where he can do some damage. They got to wait for him. Here he is in the corner.
Baseline.
They got an offensive foul.
It is Justin Jackson as Reed takes the hit for Miami. The 7th North Carolina turnover of the half. Miami up by 14 at home against the top team of the conference. Offensive foul called on Justin Jackson on the drive. But as North Carolina was going to the bench, Berry was called for a technical foul. And during that timeout, Roy Williams laced into his team and into a chair.
There's a lot of dadgummits in there. You know, he's not like you. He refrains from profanity, but he was really after his guys. So it's a player control foul. 2 free throws on the technical, and Miami gets the ball back. So we'll see the 2 tees here as Davon Reed. Well, he is some competitor. I've seen him on the golf course do that.
And apparently the audience now knows that I'm foul-mouthed.
Well, no such thing.
Reed off the mark on the first attempt tonight at 8 Eastern. The road to the Final Four continues. CBS Sports Network Big East Showdown. 11th ranked Butler hosts Georgetown at Hinkle Fieldhouse on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. So Berry is on the bench. North Carolina has scored a grand total of 7 points over the last 13 minutes. They have 6 field goals in the first half and 7 turnovers.
Amazing. I guess that's the 2nd foul for Berry now with the tee added on. Well, this is where it all starts for Carolina if they want to get back in it. Dig down, get some stops.
Reed defended by Williams. No Theo Pinson. That's a big hit for this North Carolina team. Provides energy, passing skills. Vasiljevic trying to break free. Blocked. Couldn't get away.
7th Woods in good defensive position. A great speed to kick.
Williams, the jump shot.
Not shooting it as well in the conference
Jackson
as he was earlier.
He tracks it down for the offensive rebound. Woods, ball fake. North Carolina shooting 22%.
Nice. There's their little inside game.
And Jackson missed it on the interior. It was a good setup by Bradley. Newton, they were trying to trap him in the corner. Instead, he drives, gives it up.
Shooting, you're going to
flip.
charge.
It is an offensive foul.
You got a foul line jumper. It's the easiest shot in the game. Got to use your head. They miss him, no question about it.
He missed the first 16 games. Broken bone in his right foot, rolled his right ankle the other night in the victory over Virginia Tech.
Well, it's so easy right there. By the way, I think Roy was as mad at Bury. Most coaches don't want a player to get a technical foul, and I'm sure that was part of it.
So that walking boot right now for Pinson.
Well, they need him too. He's a talented kid. So many areas that he helps them.
He's a spark also. He changes the game when he checks in.
Charge again.
A discard. And a foul on Bradley.
Bird, that's got to be the 7th charge. Approximately. That is unbelievable. Turn your shoulder and bury the guy. You've got to refrain. Turn and kick it out.
It looks like the North Carolina bigs are looking for that contact with a body bump.
They are looking, and they're getting it, unfortunately, to their disadvantage.
North Carolina led this game 16-15. It's 18-2 Miami since.
How you close it out is key for both of these clubs.
We come up on 2 minutes to go, first half. Newton almost turns it over, but he was fouled in the process by Woods. Double bonus here. 2 free throws for Jaquan Woods. Shoots it at 70% at the line. That's the second on Woods. Hicks, Berry, Bradley also with 2. The junior, Newton, knocks down the first. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Got a full house there. Adam, Seth, Wally Zerbiak will get you caught up on all the action going on today in college basketball, including ACC games involving Florida State, Notre Dame. It's all coming up. AT&T at the half. Miami is now 9 out of 10 at the free throw line. North Carolina's 4 of 4.
Mistake-free, haven't coughed it up, given open floor opportunities, and the 2-3 zone has been suffocating. Great reaction. Yang rebounding.
Having a tough time getting it to the interior.
A lot of deep threats now, other than Jackson on the floor.
Robinson knocked away, and a foul, physical foul out front as Newton took a swipe at it.
You got him.
That's the 17th foul, and it sends the freshman Brandon Robinson to the free throw line, where he shoots it at 65%. That's number 2 on Newton. From Douglasville, Georgia, his dad Frank coached high school basketball for 24 years. That ends a 9-0 run. And Berry on the bench for the final minute 42.
He's best known for a big tip against Tennessee earlier in the year at home.
The only losses North Carolina has suffered this season: Indiana, Kentucky in a classic, and Georgia Tech, first game of ACC play. And the Rambling Wreck just keep on shocking people.
How about that? 500 in the league. Josh Pest has done some job.
Newton, the floater.
Owning the lane. They just got to stop them from penetration. That's been a real bugaboo for the Tar Heels.
12 points for Newton, knocked away. And Miami's got a chance to add to the lead. It's currently 17. Newton the drive. He's fouled out front, so 2 free throws as Nate Britt tried to use the body to cut off the angle on Newton.
Well, you got to turn them once, and this kid, Newton, is playing with such confidence right now.
One of the captains of this Miami squad. His energy is infectious. He attacks the rim. He gets into the teeth of the defense.
He's basically has to do everything for this team, and that's the hard part. Come up empty there.
They don't have a natural point guard like they had in Angel Rodriguez last year, so Newton has taken on those responsibilities, but his mentality is to score and to make things happen.
Well, there's not a lot of pure point guards in the country. You know, Berry certainly is one of them, one of the best in the country. Right now, they are really back on their heels.
This Miami team lost Rodriguez, McClellan, Tanye Jakiri, all playing professionally right now at various spots around the world. Vasilovic is one of the new faces. He's in there now for Miami.
And Aussie, so many of them over here, normally on the West Coast.
39-20, Miami. 1 minute to go in the first half.
They're just really doing a good job on Jackson. Nice replace.
Kick it out to Williams.
Nothing.
One and done for North Carolina.
That's pretty good defense, though. They made sure Jackson didn't get a free jack.
Anthony Lawrence Jr. played point guard in high school. St. Petersburg area, Lakewood.
Little high dribble there for the point guard.
Lawrence drive and kick. Reed open look at a three. Off the rim. Offensive board for Murphy. They can hold for one.
Offense.
And it's an offensive foul.
All he had to do is kick it out.
There was a 2-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Murphy tried to take matters into his own hands on the interior.
Yeah, just a shame. Only look at the Silovich is outside. Nice little cell job there by Jackson.
Izundu back in. Murphy takes a seat. Brown's been on the bench with those 2 fouls for Miami.
I'm going with Ibuku.
No, Ibuka. First half.
I guess I won't go with that either.
You added a coup. It's a cup. You can go with it whatever you want, Bill. Miami up by 19. Hanging.
Got a piece.
Britt is fouled. So Nate Britt, 59% free throw shooter, will head to the line.
Now you have to know that because this is a drill that they work on, Carolina. Miss free throw on the second one, they slap it back out.
Second foul on Davon Reed. Britt switched hands.
Very good. I'm just checking on you.
He was a righty. Now he is a lefty. That would make him ambidextrous.
Very good.
Thank you.
He's also amphibious.
No, I don't believe so.
No. Of course, the Chris Jenkins connection.
They're brothers.
Brothers, yeah.
What a storyline last year in the
boy.
NCAA championship. You, Jim Nance, and Grant Hill courtside for that incredible championship game. North Carolina coming up just short.
Wolfie and Fish there too. Fish told me, our producer and director, maybe the greatest game he's been involved in from beginning to end. And he's been there for the Jordan and Villanova over Georgetown. Timeout
Called by Newton. North Carolina was getting into his trap. They'll talk it over with 6.8 left. It comes up in conversation, and then we've got the video to back it up. North Carolina, Villanova. Marcus Page, the wild shot to tie it. But then Chris Jenkins, the game-winning three. Villanova, a thriller, 77-74, one for the ages.
The heartbreak of that game, unbelievable. And Page's shot, just one of the most amazing threes you'll see.
North Carolina has missed 18 of its last 19 shots to end the half. Miami, 1 second left. Newton couldn't get a clean shot off at the buzzer, and he's upset. He thought he was fouled on the drive. End of the first half. Miami with a tremendous performance at home, 39-22 at the break. Right now, let's go to Adam Tucker in New York. Hurricane legend Jim Kelly is in attendance and still throwing tight spirals. He looks terrific. Let's take a look at our Geico first half stats. Miami 12 of 25 from the field. They've turned it over 6 times. They've controlled the paint as well, and they've got the 39-22 lead here at the break. Ian Eagle along with Bill Raftery. This is huge for Miami. They're trying to build that resume to get back to the NCAA tournament. They lost in the Sweet 16 last year to eventual champion Villanova. How about that first half performance?
Well, with Jim Kelly, it was all offense. And with Miami, it's been defense. Solomon being in the right spot, helping one another out, converging at the rim, not giving easy opportunities. But it all starts with not turning the basketball over and recovering, being big. The 2-3 zone, eliminating opportunities and really frustrating some of the dribble drives and the post people, eventually leading to numerous offensive charges.
Miami's actually won 4 of the last 6 meetings against North Carolina, but last year the Tar Heels took it to the Hurricanes February of last year, 96-71. Jackson has 8 points. Foul trouble for Jackson. The rest of the team has gone a combined 3 of 24 from the field. Their shooting percentage in that first half for North Carolina, the second lowest shooting percentage in a half under Roy Williams in his 14 years as the head coach of the Tar Heels.
This half for Carolina started in the locker room. Strategically, emotionally, getting them back in the game, playing under control, diagramming the offensive sets against the zone, making the extra pass, going side to side, which they have not been doing. They've been getting stuck on one side.
Number 3 in the country in assists entering action. And a block inside as Hicks had it denied. Another block for Miami. That's number 5 for the Hurricanes. Open look for Lawrence. In and out, slapped out of there by Murphy, and an extended possession for Miami.
And a nice little play out of the gate by Carolina, negated by probably poor execution. Look at this lob.
Murphy in the jam. A special delivery from Newton.
All set up by dribble drive, Bird. The defense has to address it.
Meeks is fouled, and he'll shoot a pair.
Once you step up defensively to help out in any way, all of a sudden the ability right in there, just solid basketball. Dribble drive, and then the ability to lob. You can see that never land position as Hicks isn't sure where to cover. Send it in at the rim. Come on.
That's the 3rd foul on Kamari Murphy. Meeks short on the first attempt. Miami has matched its largest lead, 19. North Carolina first miss at the line, now 8 of 9 as a team.
And Meeks around 62%.
They're not used to this. Their scoring margin this season, they are plus 18.7, which is 5th in the country. They're 4th in the nation in scoring, 89.5. They've got 23 points.
Unbelievable. They got a tough stretch coming up at the end of this season. A couple of Duke games to remain. Nice little kick. Nice decision as well.
Brown was an impact player in the first half with 11 points and sat on the bench with those 2 personal fouls. Newton directing traffic.
Nice job by Berry. Forced a tough shot.
Jump shot way off, but Brown is there for the follow and the bucket.
Well, you're disarmed when it doesn't hit the rim. You're very alert defensively, though.
14 points now for Bruce Brown. Largest lead, it's 20. Williams.
And this forces you to take time. That's part of the dilemma. You can't run your quick hitters.
Berry trying to get involved. Jackson with 4 to shoot. Berry fires. Air ball. Meeks catches it. And a foul called on the floor before the shot by Meeks.
Well, they are not as efficient as they normally are with the Chris defense. This disarms you when you're on that defensive end, unfortunately. And a good read and finish. But the other end, it's not as smooth as you're accustomed to seeing Carolina function.
Rapp, North Carolina is now under 20%. 6 of 31 from the field. 3rd foul on Reed. Meeks. Ball movement leads to a Jackson 3. In and out. Rebound ripped down by Lawrence of Miami. Reed one-on-one, takes it at Jackson, off-balance delivery, no good. And Britt back in there for North Carolina, playing alongside Berry. Slashing to the hole, he's fouled on the outside by Newton.
That's one way of getting down, beating the zone before it's set. Just really having their difficulties. The games that I've watched where they've troubled, it's the dribble drive. Indiana did it early in the year. Tennessee did it against them. Now they've got to do a better job at the point of attack.
Over 10 minutes of game action now without a field goal for North Carolina.
Here's the overload and an open look. Good cut by Justin Jackson.
That's shooting practice for Jackson.
Yeah. Kupida.
So the 3 fouls on Newton, 3 fouls on Reed. We'll keep an eye on that. The lead is 17.
Look how they've spread everybody in the corners. If you help on there, the first time they've trapped that ball screen.
Newton gets around it. Brown, an open look. Book it.
How about that? You get them in a scramble. If you can drill it, you make them pay.
Bruce Brown, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. He's filling up the stat sheet.
I'll say.
Back to a 20-point cushion. Berry, drive and kick. Britt fires. Yes.
Nice find. Nice find. No ball screen. Set it up. Herky-jerky on the offensive end, but you get back in it on this end. Got to tee it up. So with Meek, they usually jam that ball screen.
Newton was met, and a foul called. The last line of defense was Hicks.
I think it was Meeks, though, was it? Yeah. I think the big guy got nailed for it.
So free throws here for Jaquan Newton. Meeks picks up his first. Newton with 14 points, 6 rebounds. He's coming off a 23.5 rebound performance in the win over BC. Gets the roll. Thursday on CBS. One detective plays by the rules. Another breaks them. From the producers of CSI, a whole new day begins. Training Day premieres Thursday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS.
And Newton can't afford, watch him on the free, he can't afford to get tired. He's got to run the show, get everybody involved. He gets a little blow now because he was fatigued. Vasilovich on the floor now. We know he can drill it. Interesting to hear Jimmy saying how he gets accustomed to the speed of the game in the ACC.
The drive by Jackson, the flip, it's there.
Terrific use of that floater. He's the one guy Roy permits to throw that baby up. He had a couple the other night in Virginia Tech. One, he was behind the baseline.
Gained some weight, 17 pounds of muscle, so maybe a little bit more assertive going towards the rim and feeling like he can absorb the contact. 13 points now for Jackson. 17-point lead for Miami. A back in, Izundu. He's lefty, missed it, and the rebound controlled by Bradley for North Carolina. Berry,
nice help.
Intercepted by Lawrence.
A great read, great knowledge. And Berry's so efficient with the basketball. That seldom happens, but a terrific defensive play.
The 10th Tar Heel turnover. Brown contact near the free throw line.
Bradley, I think.
48-31. Miami picking up where it left off from the first half.
They were looking for a caddy that day. You know.
I think you were.
You had an Arnold Palmer. Nothing with it. Nice, clean look again. That's his shot. Nice out of bounds.
Vasilovich missing from the corner. Chance to extend Miami's lead. Instead, it's Jackson. Side rim on a 3. And Lawrence with a strong side rebound. Miami slows it down.
Double high.
Brown using the spin.
They've not handled this well. And again,
the running one-hander off the window.
Bradley with the 3 fouls, backed off. Terrific looking delivery.
Bruce Brown showing off the all-around skills. Russell Westbrook is the player who he emulates, and you could see some of that rubbing off in his game. Nice move on the inside by Luke May to finish. 50-33 Miami. Just over 5 minutes gone by in this second half.
Well, you've got to come prepared for everybody. In Carolina, here's a little trap once again. Trying to jam it.
Izundu gets rid of it into the hands of Reed.
Well, they've really done a nice job going side to side, then breaking you down with the bounce.
Brown, he's big time.
He is. He's got some game, no question about it. Created space with the spin.
20 points for Bruce Brown, his Miami high.
May, a good post-up guy with a turnaround jumper.
And a bump.
With a bang. And that's number, what is that? Number 3, number 4, I think, if it's on Reed.
They gave it to Izundu.
Oh, that's a help.
Stops the clock with 14:15 to play in this second half. And Miami up by 19 on North Carolina. Roy Williams still looking for the right combination here. Again, playing without Theo Pinson. That right foot a concern for Pinson.
He'd like to put Hubert Davis in, wouldn't he?
He would.
They shot him on the bench. Great player for Carolina, long-time NBA player. Nice hands, big once again.
Brown the steal. Vasilovich. Got it. It's a 3.
Howdy, mate.
The Aussie from down under. 22-point lead for Miami.
Nice pass, drop step.
And a foul called. The crowd reacts, trying to stop the bleeding here for North Carolina.
Boy, that was a pretty drop step move by Hicks. The ability to be bigger than you are, raise those hands, and make a good decision. Plenty of time, and that's what he needs. A little time, space, and nylon from down under.
The second foul on Izundu. The Miami bench reacting. Everything is clicking right now for the Hurricanes. Isaiah Hicks, 82% shooter at the line.
Great looking prospect this kid is. I think the zone had such an impact too. Jarred them. They couldn't get their screening game, their slice cut, their post up, their curls. All of those things null and void because of that 2-3 zone.
Izundu sits. Huell checks in for Miami. Second attempt for Isaiah Hicks. Short. 55-34 Hurricanes. Bruce Brown is putting on a show right now for Miami.
Lawrence screening outside. He's got Hicks on him. He's got a nice little pass. How about that?
Huell is fouled. He couldn't finish it. But the setup by Brown, they had to focus on Brown.
The nice little pocket pass that they run so well. There's a little, here goes the clear, and then the ability to get the bump, and then the roll to the lane. Now watch this little pocket pass. Just pretty. And you just can't cover well enough. Leaning left, Meek, ineffective at the rim.
Second foul on Meeks. DeJuan Huell, McDonald's All-American, the first one to sign with Miami since Darius Rice back in 2000.
We could score.
Huell, local product, bouncy big man out of Miami Norland.
And they got 3 state championships while he was playing.
They did. He also ran track in high school and competed in the high jump. I'm not trying to one-up you,
Well,
Bill.
you are really.
No. I'm just
Obviously,
sharing information.
It's amazing how much you can get done on the beach.
Huell misses on the first attempt.
Not a happy guy. You know, when you're on the sideline and you sort of don't recognize your team, it's disturbing. Now, this is not the Carolina team that's been humming along the last couple of weeks.
As hot as anybody. 7-game winning streak. They've won 9 of their last 10. 19-3 on the season. 7-1 in conference play. And they're in a deep hole against Miami.
That little foul line jumper's one I think you got to take. That's a great look.
Williams a 3.
And you end up with a deep one.
Nothing going down for the Tar Heels.
Just be solid here. That's how you get back in. Not done a good job stifling this high five.
Brown swings
Nice
it.
replace.
Vasiljevic. Rimming, no. Rebound controlled by North Carolina as Robinson triggers ahead. Britt the drive, the dish off, and an offensive foul. Basket won't count.
Once you leave your feet, well, there have been so many charges. Excellent defense by and large. And just getting a little bit too deep without a decision.
And Roy sharing his opinion with the official Ron Groover. It's been one of those days for North Carolina and for Roy Williams as he's made wholesale changes here. Berry back in. Jackson in for North Carolina. May, Bradley, and Woods round out the 5 on the floor.
A little better D on that particular sequence. Keeping the dribble alive. They got an offense.
Wow. They do. And Newton shrugging his shoulders.
That's number 4. If I'm not mistaken. That really hurts him. Does he extend the arm here? Oh, he had the
hooked
leg.
him.
No, yeah, he did give him a hook.
They let it go twice. And then on the third time, Newton got called for it. So, as you mentioned, Billy, that's 4 on Newton. He sits with 16 points. The rebounding numbers are hard to believe. North Carolina is a dominant rebounding team. They're all even off the glass, 24 apiece. A lot of credit to Miami in that category here this afternoon.
How about 16-1 against Virginia Tech the other night?
Inside, big finish. It's Tony Bradley and a chance at a 3-point play.
Bradley gets the Tony, but the Oscar goes to the passer bird. The ability to find people. He gets himself set up there. And just look at this little dump off. I love that. And Berry, they need more of that. They need it quickly.
Will anybody get an Emmy or a Grammy by the end of the day? The EGOT. Offensive board off the miss, and North Carolina their chance to add more points on the board. The floater.
It's pretty.
Off balance, Justin Jackson.
With a proper trajectory, feathery release. But they are tough on missed free throws. You've got to be alert.
So Brown is handling it for Miami with Newton on the bench. Berry is harassing him. High screen.
Plenty of time. Just be solid. Don't gamble.
12 to shoot. May extends out on Lawrence.
Ewell did the right thing getting to the rim. Tough shot.
Lawrence, that was a brick.
You build on defensive pressure. Some consistency, get a flow, get a confidence at this end. Look how far they get out on Jackson.
Woods fires it. Baseline. Layup goes for Bradley. North Carolina trying to find its footing here in the second half.
Bradley alertly finds the hole. You got to become available as a big.
Timeout. Miami. (56-40). CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local station. And now a look at our AT&T fast analysis bill.
They've been able to get some activity from the big guys in motion, finding holes, and therefore the courage to make the pass too. Just great attitude, the dump down. How about this? You can't cover the shooter in the corner and protect the basket as well. And Woods with a nice looking delivery. Defensively, they've been a little bit better handling the ball screen. Carolina, that's one way of getting themselves back in this.
Largest lead has been 22. It's down to 16. It was 55-33.
And that little run and jump off the timeout. Something as advertised with Carolina.
Brown using the Murphy screen.
Nice pass. Huh?
Inside. And Ewell with the flush.
Boy, what an asset that Brown when Newton is out to run the point.
18-point cushion for the Hurricanes. Woods gives it up. Working around the perimeter.
Good job going side to side now. Nice entry.
May, the baby hook. Luke May.
Once again, interior passing. Bradley. Pretty darn good.
May was a big-time scorer in high school. 1,932 points.
His dad was a big-time quarterback at Carolina, right?
Layup.
Oh, on interference, yeah.
That's going to be waved off. Ewell. That ball was still sitting on top of the rim. A timeout in Coral Gables. Miami still maintaining the big lead on North Carolina. We'll see if the Tar Heels have a run. Well, this week there has been a lot of turmoil at the top of the rankings. Villanova lost at Marquette. Kansas lost at West Virginia. Kentucky lost at Tennessee. Florida State lost twice at Georgia Tech and at Syracuse earlier today. And UCLA a loss at USC.
That one jumps out because we had seen Arizona State play USC and I didn't think they had a shot. And all of a sudden, heck of an effort against a great team, and now UCLA trying to find themselves. But what a week when you think of it.
North Carolina comes in ranked number 9 in the country, having won 7 straight.
A nice little out of bounds play there. They were trying to run the lob at a back screen.
Jackson lines it up.
Oops, I thought he had it.
Side of the rim. And knocked over to Lawrence for Miami.
And Bert, that's the big thing. The boards. Competing on the glass with Carolina is so essential if you're going to win. Nice
double
drag.
team on Brown. Ewell gets it back into his hands with 13 to shoot. Brown is having a fantastic day. Brown the drive, the kick.
Nice.
Lawrence extra feed. Shot clock's winding down. Murphy has to make it happen on a kick. Brown fires, rims out, and it's rebounded by Hicks for the Tar Heels.
Run out.
Up the floor, caught by Bradley. Bradley in a tough spot. Berry the drive,
nice pass.
the dish. Bradley, the slammer for North Carolina.
Well, he has been in position to dominate, but what a terrific look. Great vision. By the point guard, Murray.
It's an 11-3 run, and the Miami lead is now 14.
Forcing them late in the shot clock with this trapping, something they've stayed away, disdained early, doing it with regularity now.
Newton's still on the bench with those 4 fouls. The ball ricochets, leaks out. Reed, Brown fires. He's locked in.
What a find.
Bruce Brown with a triple.
How about that? 23, I think he has. What a performance. Again, nice look. What was wrong with that one, Bird?
Hicks didn't take the first one, missed the second, and it's rebounded by Murphy.
You almost dribble into traffic or problems.
Fans reacting here at the Watsco Center. Huel high screen, and a foul out front on Bradley. Number 4 on big man Tony Bradley.
He's giving him a good performance, but this is just great location, being in the right spot to kick out, and Brown out to rise and knock that baby down.
Extended rest for Jaquan Newton because of those fouls. Murphy has 3. Davon Reed has 3. Lob it in. 61-44 Miami.
They can afford to be a little run and jump here.
Brown to the corner. Reed, step back 3. Off the rim, no good. And the rebound controlled by Woods.
Well, he had Burry up at the end, and then now a turnover.
He telegraphed it. Lawrence ahead for Brown. Waits for his teammates.
Smart, very smart.
No rush for Miami with 7.5 to play. 13th turnover for North Carolina. Miami has limited it to 8 mistakes.
A little zone in the back. They haven't been able to cover these plays.
Reed corkscrews in. Missed it on the interior. Offensive board and a foul called. Isaiah Hicks shaking his head in disbelief.
Boy, the hustle, unbelievable by the Hurricanes.
It's been a wacky week in college basketball. Miami's got the lead here 61-44. North Carolina has not scored in transition, and it's the Hurricanes outscoring the Tar Heels in the paint.
Unbelievable. You coming in, you think the opposite, right? But they got back, balanced, took good shots, didn't turn it over, so Miami was in control. And not getting the touches to the bigs because of the 2-3 zone of Miami. Great impact on the offensive flow.
Losses this season for Miami have come to Iowa State, Florida, Syracuse, Notre Dame, Wake Forest, and Duke. They're 13-6, 3-4 in the ACC. 61-44, Hurricanes.
Boy, they've done a nice job offensively. Here's a little giveaway. Oh, we got a bunch of whistles, huh?
Foul is called on Woods. That is the 7th team foul, or is it the 6th? There's a discrepancy right now on the scoreboard. If it's 7, it's 1-1. And it is 7. Bruce Brown to the free throw line.
What a solid game this kid has had. Handled that ball screen, finding people, and drilling shots when available.
Rims out, knocked to the outside. Miami's got another offensive rebound. They are doing to North Carolina as the Tar Heels normally do to other teams. Turnover. Barry, a blast right down the middle. Barry. It was blocked.
Murphy really doing a great job running the floor. They got numbers here.
2-on-1 developing. Lawrence, offensive foul. So a giveaway by Miami when they had a 2-on-1 break.
That's one of those deals. If you are in any way question whether you can get to the rim, just fan dribble. They never got the break organized. They had overloaded on the one side. Good read, and that's a killer. Could have run some clock, maybe gotten a better shot.
Consecutive turnovers for the Hurricanes, now 10 overall. North Carolina has shot it at 60% in the second half, but with that, they're only at 33% overall. That's how poor they were in the first half. Berry misses from long range. Jackson throwing his body around, but Miami's got it. It's Davon Reed, and he'll take the air out of the ball with 6:20 to go.
Ewell in that mix, too. They are really competing, hustling, scrapping, and you've got to match that.
Double. Murphy fires. Brown off the rim, no good, and the box out by Meeks. Berry on the move. Berry, he just can't buy one.
No, he's really struggling. Nice little move, crossover to get in the lane. I'll tell you, Jackson does get down the floor. He's always available.
8 of the final 11 games for Miami are against teams that are currently ranked. So tough schedule coming up, but boy, could this help their resume for the postseason.
Nice hands, Jackson. Boy, he is clever.
The deflection out of bounds off of Jackson. One of the greatest Super Bowl commercials of all time. We've got them, and you'll love them. Don't miss an all-new Super Bowl greatest commercials. That's Tuesday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS.
And you mentioned Berry really struggling 0 for 7, only 2 points, Bird. And he's one of those guys that can provide a lift for this team in all aspects. Gets 15 a game.
Meeks to the bench. Isaiah Hicks back in. So Hicks now manning the middle. This is where they play Jackson at the 4 spot. They'll go a little smaller with Berry, Britt, and Williams. The drive. Newton's back in. Tip in.
Look at this hustle.
Davon Reed sticking with the play.
How about that? Amongst 2 or 3 blue shirts. They just want this thing more.
Jackson drive. Denied. Do not go in there on Kamari Murphy.
Murphy's been around. What a solid performer he is on both ends of the floor. The 2-3 zone. He can roam a little bit. Pay attention to detail.
The 6th block of the day for Miami.
Look at the hands, too. Make a nice look. Twice that's happened. No cover. They don't close quickly from the corner to the box.
Isaiah Hicks with the stuff for North Carolina. 63-46. Hurricanes in control with just under 5 minutes to play. Newton playing with those 4 fouls.
Nice
Murphy.
back cut for the denial.
Reed. Oh, he goes down hard. Newton as the ball leaked to the outside, and he'll use more clock. Reed's okay as he had it blocked on the inside.
Yeah, they changed the clock. They shouldn't have. I don't think that hit the rim.
There was not a change of possession. And the shot clock did reset on the block.
Now look at this terrific attack and then the counter. Pretty play by Hicks. Just haven't been able to get their scramble to impact on turnovers or things of that nature. Let's see how far back they go. Probably.
The clock had
6.
already reset. They're going to have to do some math when the block took place.
Always interesting to hear Jimmy Larinaga when you come to town. He has all these 10 commitments. I think you violated a few of them, by the way.
So the block is at 11 on the shot clock, and it reset there at 9. Should not have gotten a fresh 30.
But getting back to Larinaga, of course, a Archbishop Malloy guy. New York City, ends up at Providence. I think he got about 36 against our Seton Hall team. My intricate defense stymied his talent, obviously. He was a teammate of one of our first co-captains, Gary Cavallo, and just a lifer. Jack Curran was his coach. Had great admiration and respect for him.
An assistant coach, long time at Davidson and Virginia under Terry Holland for all those years, and Larinaga then brought that knowledge as a head man to stops along the way. The shot clock is down to 3, so 6 seconds had elapsed from the block to when the officials finally recognized that the shot clock had been reset. Miami will have 3 seconds to work with.
And Berkus, all that knowledge about Carolina and Virginia didn't come handy until he got into this league. So he knows everything they do. Quick Jack,
Murphy,
nice cut.
To Reed, and it rims out. You could not have executed it any better, except Reed couldn't finish.
Terrific set out of the timeout. or delay, I should say.
Turnaround. Jackson, he's fouled. So 2 free throws here for Justin Jackson. His team is down by 17 points with 4:19 on the clock. And the 4th foul on Kamari Murphy.
And Bert, he is so active. He moves without the basketball well. They've tried him in a lot of spots. That time in the post-up. Get a good clean look like that. Keep going with it.
Jackson shoots it at 79%. This Wednesday, the greatest manhunt continues. And for the teams on the run, a single mistake could lead to capture. Don't miss a new episode of Hunted Wednesday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. Jackson 1 out of 2. Lawrence has got it for Miami.
They've done a great job rebounding, and that's the aspect of the game you got to control, or at least be in the hunt with Carolina.
Miami is +2 on the glass. 63-47. Hurricanes switch. Newton against Hicks. Newton crosses, fades. Off the mark.
A tippy-toe rebound by Murphy.
Murphy had 0 vertical in the play.
He was exploding up there.
And Miami will control it. It was knocked out of his hands. Miami with the lead in the ball when we come back.
Well, the ability of the guards to control the game has been extraordinary. Brown has been magnificent. Step-up shots, the ability to turn the corner and create by Newton has been sensational. Stymied a little bit with some foul problems. But Carolina dismayed by their inability to control them, the ball screen, and the ensuing passes.
Bruce Brown, career-high 23 points. Newton has 16. Jim Larinaga said that everybody on this team, other than Kamari Murphy, has a new job this year. Kamari still has the same role. Be a great defender, get rebounds, play that power forward spot. But everybody else from last year's team has had to change their game.
Moved up a spot or down a spot. I tell you, they've done a great job. You can think of Lawrence contributions, Reed.
North Carolina has only been out-rebounded twice this season. Both of those games, they lost.
How about that? And today, Miami met their match on the glass. No question about it. That off-arm, got to be careful.
Lawrence off the mark.
Nice rebound.
Offensive board for Murphy.
He's amazing. He's got a motor, this kid.
Miami has missed its last 6 shots from the field, but they've maintained the arm-length lead.
They're trying to trap the basketball.
Gets rid of it. Gets it back. Newton. The penetration.
Nice.
The dish. Murphy blows the layup. Missed the putback.
Ruined the assist. Newton really doing a solid job taking care of his partners. Nice pass.
Jackson had it blocked, but a foul.
Again.
And Lawrence walking away from it.
Again, Jackson finds a hole. I mean, this kid really understands the game. Terrific look to complement it.
That's the 3rd foul on Lawrence, 10th team foul. So 2 shots here. Justin Jackson.
That is just a sensational look. Look at this. Just keeping yourself active. A little bowling delivery.
Jackson hits on a pair.
A little full court now.
And the lead is down to 14 for Miami.
Could have run the baseline.
Brown is fouled out near midcourt by Berry. It's the 8th team foul against North Carolina. So 1-1 here for Bruce Brown. 3rd personal on Berry.
Now you're in trouble when your lead guard, who's been sensational, has an off game like this. He's the catalyst for Carolina. Gets everybody involved. He's a real gamer.
Berry is 0 of 8 from the field, 0 of 4 from three-point territory. There's a lid on that rim for Miami. Brown just missed the front end.
Berry will bounce back, guaranteed.
2:35 to go. 63-49 Miami.
Trying to find Jackson, who's got to keep busy. There's the overload.
Jackson, corner pop.
Pretty.
He's got it. It's a 3. Justin Jackson. This is an 11-point game. 8-0 run for the Tar Heels. Newton protecting. Tried to sell it with Williams. No call.
He's got to be careful with his off arm. Should have gotten that call.
Newton, the ball handling. Newton lost it. Scooped up by Britt. Trying to save it, he does for Berry. They can cut this to single digits. Under 2 minutes to play. Important from the corner.
Big
it
rebound.
Doesn't go for Williams. And a foul called. Reed with the board for Miami.
How about the stick-to-iters of Carolina? This is just great defense. The crowd's dismayed, but that's just a nice giveaway. Hicks, Jimmy can't believe it. He thinks he's going to get an opportunity for two. Just a solid job by Hicks.
Miami has missed its last 7 shots. If you go deeper, 1 of their last 12 for Miami. But Davon Reed's at the line. He shoots it at 83%. And Miami still has the double-digit lead. Reed out of Ewing, New Jersey.
A Jersey boy, huh?
His Twitter handle is ClutchReed5. Do you follow him or no?
No, I haven't followed him.
Do you have a cell phone, Bill?
I do. You can get me at home more often, though.
Fax? Maybe fax is good. The drive and the deuce for Britt.
Quick hitter and a timeout. Got to make him use some clock burn.
65-54, Miami up. Coming up next, third round of the Farmers Insurance Open. Coverage is available right now on PGAtour.com and CBSSports.com.
Carolina does not go away, though. They just stayed active, stayed after it.
Well, we've got a tie atop the leaderboard, Billy.
I heard the telecast the other day. Justin Rose, I guess the par 5 was so difficult. He made a great birdie. Very busy getting ready for this game, watching that.
Miami.
A mistake here or there right now. You got to step to the ball, be tough with the basketball.
They retain it with 1:45 on the clock. And the officials now will huddle up.
They want another second off, maybe, possibility.
This Miami team was picked to finish 9th in the ACC preseason poll. That doesn't sound good, but when the word is that they could get 10 teams in the NCAA tournament, it's not all that bad.
No, it's unbelievable. Some people are talking 11. I mean, I don't know if that will happen. It's just amazing, the strength of this conference. And the venues are something else. John Gaffney, give us a little info.
Last 2 minutes, we can look at the out of bounds.
They are taking a look at the out of bounds within the last 2 minutes. They could check that out. Who did it deflect against? The call was against North Carolina, and it looked like it was Williams.
I think he's right.
You got the left hand denying Brown. Reed running the baseline.
And that way you don't foul either. Get in that passing lane. See if they front now. Big on the ball. And you've got to be tough with the basketball. You got to run through the pass. Present yourself.
Miami holds on to it.
Over the years, Carolina is incredible. The last 2 minutes of games.
Miami will host Florida State on Wednesday night, coming off 2 tough losses. They go deep. Brown drives in.
Ready
for 2.
How about the pressure release?
Well, he likes football. That was a bomb. Jackson, no good. And a foul called with 1:34 to play. Miami can taste it.
Did you see Brown go for that rebound? I mean, he knew how valuable, how important that was. 2 hands going up big. Yeah, I hope coach is okay. I didn't like that. He just, over the years, he's had just a little bout.
25 points for Bruce Brown. Tack on another. Well, this was Roy just for a moment there. Went down to his knee.
Remember he had a little bout of vertigo a while ago, too?
He did.
Yeah. Oh.
He was leaning on Theo Pinson, sitting along the bench area. And now Roy has taken his seat with 1:32 to go.
This game takes a lot out of you, no question about it.
Jump shot
go.
goes for Nate Britt.
And he's up, called the timeout, and now he's holding himself too.
3-ball for Nate Britt. 12-point lead for Miami. 1:28 to play. Game reset with 1:28 on the clock. North Carolina on the ropes here, down by 12 against Miami. Both teams are in the double bonus, and Joel Berry the second, 15.5 points per game this season. He's been held to 2, 0 of 8 from the field.
Now we know they ran the home run pass. They do it again, and nobody back.
North Carolina wasn't ready. Newton slams it down. Jaquan Newton climbs the imaginary ladder for the Hurricanes. And that could slam the door shut for Miami. The jump shot. It goes. Brandon Robinson from deep.
Robinson, 22% three-point shooter. Too easy the other end for Miami, though. They got to button up in their denial.
Don't forget, coming up next, third round coverage of the Farmers Insurance Open. Right now, the coverage is available. Just go to PGAtour.com and CBSSports.com to stay in the know. We'll have golf for you right after we're done here in Coral Gables.
You know, that pressure, the pressure release of the home run pass, so important. You may see Carolina take a guy off the ball and have a free safety, but they have just been a little negligent in their denial and runouts.
Well, Miami's been well prepared. Jim Larrañaga gave his players a study sheet. 7 things to know about what UNC does on offense and 7 things to know about what they do on defense, and then extensive within the 7 points. And Miami has performed at a high level. Slow start, and then after that first time out, they looked like a different team.
They sure did. Well schooled, well prepared, and you alluded to it. I think being at Virginia all those years with Terry Holland, you know the philosophy. Now there are some nuances that have changed over the years of the Carolina schemes, but they were prepared, and the guard play just terrific. Didn't cough it up, got wherever they wanted, and that's like a dilemma when you're thinking of Carolina not able to defend that.
And for North Carolina, no Theo Pinson, who missed the first 16 games with a broken bone in his right foot. An issue with that right foot / ankle. Suffered the injury against Virginia Tech. In a walking boot right now. First free throw no good for Brown. And North Carolina, again, not excuses, just laying out the schedule. Quick turnaround. They were at home in a victory over Virginia Tech on Thursday night. So the second game in 3 days for the Tar Heels. They will be home for Pittsburgh on Tuesday night. Miami up by 12. That's a deep 3 for Jackson.
He can drill him from out there. They got an offensive rebounding foul.
It's against North Carolina. Roy Williams looking for some clarity there. And the foul on Luke May. So more free throws here for Miami. Davon Reed with 1:02 on the clock.
It's all about bouncing back, too. And what, goodness, they've been really struggling here. You mentioned earlier this rim unkind.
Reed shoots it at 83%. Well, we talked about North Carolina's rebounding prowess. Miami is 3rd in the ACC in rebounds per game, so they're a good rebounding team. They just happen to be going against the best
in the country, maybe, right?
The steal. Bruce Brown streaking in. Layup no good. May fights for it.
You really didn't need that, though, if you were Brown.
Could have backed it out. Instead, it leads to a Williams jumper. Air ball. Out of bounds with 37.1 on the clock.
Just a little thing, Bird. Even on that play, Murphy was up there with a hand up. And he just understands what to do.
Just to update the rebounding numbers, 40-35 in favor of the Hurricanes. Another deep ball. Reed is fouled.
They just haven't been able to contain that. You mentioned that rebounding. 7 or 8 a game, Miami out-rebounds the opponent, so they're not chopped liver, as they would say in the Bronx.
Jim Larrañaga's hometown.
Yeah. His buddy John Kerry here, who used to coach at All Hallows, is in town too. A lot of city in this guy.
Miami's won 22 of its last 23 games at home. The only loss in that stretch was against Notre Dame. So they've protected home court quite well under Larinaga. Second free throw here for Davon Reed. And Reed gets to pad the numbers. Hasn't shot it well. 3 of 12 from the field, but he's made his free throws, 14 points, helped out on the boards, and has 5 assists for Miami. Jackson's 3, short. And cleaning it up is Kenny Williams. 24 seconds left. 75-62 Hurricanes. Another long ball. Brown gets tripped. This is not a replay of the same play over and over. Miami just keeps doing it, and North Carolina's had no answers.
Well, they haven't denied it and been in position to get back. This kid has been magnificent. Turn me loose, Bruce.
And now the walk-ons will get an opportunity for North Carolina with 23 seconds left. Shea Rush is in. Aaron Rollman is in. Joined by Stillman White and Candler Coker.
And Jimmy's going to counter with some of his guys who do all the hard work and don't get the adulation.
Well, Miami will do the same for the final 23 seconds. Mike Robinson, former team manager, who walked on this Miami squad. And Chris Stoll in the game as well. What a performance from Bruce Brown and the Miami Hurricanes.
Big time effort, no question. Preparation was impressive. Execution may have topped the preparation.
Shea Rush going to the free throw line. Golf is coming up next on CBS. Available right now on PGAtour.com and CBSSports.com. The third round of the Farmers Insurance Open from Torrey Pines. Miami will improve to 14-6, now at 500 in ACC play at 4-4. North Carolina falls to 19-4. Another top 10 team.
What a week.
Takes a loss this week in college basketball.
It has been wild.
Miami dribbles out the clock.
Now this will be interesting to see Carolina bounce back. Well, they will.
A resume builder for the Miami Hurricanes. They knock off the Tar Heels 77-62, the final. For Bill Raftery, Ian Eagle saying so long from Coral Gables. Coming up next, third round coverage of the Farmers Insurance Open. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports. Have a great day, everybody.